Last week on American Idol, the contestants gave their all, and Simon made his prediction.
The show next week will blow this group apart.
Fox Tuesday, see if Simon's promise comes true when the last group of contenders show what they've got.
Nothing good's gonna last forever.
And you get your last chance to choose which ones will go on in the final 10.
I think you're gonna see some really good singing tonight.
You're crying sooner.
We've got some great artists here.
American Idol, followed by a new 24, starting at 8 Fox Tuesday.
He's accused of being an internet predator.
Up next, a setback for the defense in the James Comfort trial.
Plus, the father charged with killing his wife and kids gets ready for his trial.
The 10 o'clock news is next.
We're talking with Bob Barefoot, author of Death by Diet and the Calcium Factor. Is everyone calcium deficient?
By the time the average American's 35, he has more calcium going out of his body and into the body, and that's when it starts. By the time he's 60, about 98% are totally calcium deficient. The real key with calcium is it does not want to absorb in the human body. But you know, there is a substance out there where you get 100% absorption. And America hasn't heard about oral calcium. You just can't believe the miracle of calcium because you're a calcium critter. You're more calcium in your body than all the other minerals put together.
What is a good form of calcium?
We say, do what the Okinawans are doing. They're getting 100%, and we see with just 3 little capsules a day, absolutely miraculous.
You think that's one of the best
results.
forms of calcium to consume?
It's the best absorbable. You not only get the calcium, magnesium, and 70 other trace metals, you get marine microbes. Coral calcium will become the nutrient of the 21st century, I guarantee you.
Call the number on that screen. This is important for your health.
Now, live from Fox Rochester, the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, I'm Sherman Burdette.
And I'm Christine Persichette. A father accused of killing his children gets ready to go on trial.
And the Grease man accused of being an internet predator will be tried here. We'll begin with reporter Dana Roselli, and a big loss for James Comfort. Dana.
Well, that's right. Accused internet predator James Comfort will have his trial in Monroe County. A change of venue was denied today. Both attorneys find out this afternoon after a full day of potential juror questioning.
My understanding is that there is not going to be a change of venue at this point.
Good news for the prosecution. Now jury selection moves forward. But for James Comfort's attorney, who filed the change of venue request, a disappointing day.
It's been a long day. It's been a wasteful day. This case should be moved out of here.
Attorney John Parinello learned late this afternoon that the appellate division denied his request, but says he still has hope.
We interviewed 29 people trying to get a jury pool, and we ended up with 3. We have 111. We started out with 111 to interview.
Which means there's about 81 more to go. The potential jurors are getting interviewed on an individual basis. If selected, they're moved to the juror pool, which will consist of a little more than 50 potential jurors. The assistant district attorney says this process is normal.
Very normal, very routine. This is the procedure that's followed in a great number of cases that we've tried.
Also today, the judge ruled against a gag order that the district attorney's office requested last week in order to prevent attorneys from talking to the media.
But did admonish the jurors that they could not read, see, listen to any type of report or discuss it with anyone. And that was really what we were looking for, an ability for the jurors to decide the case based on the facts that were presented at the trial, not what they see on the media.
Jury selection continues tomorrow morning. It could take a few days before all jurors and 2 alternates are selected. Sherman?
All right, Dana, now to the case against Eric Parsons, the man charged with murdering his wife and 4 kids. What happened shocked an entire town. Now a jury must decide his fate. Stephanie Simo was in court today.
How could you forget? There's a woman and her 4 little children. I mean, they were just babies. Somebody murdered babies. I mean, nobody could forget that. Nobody.
With the Romulus home still boarded up, slated as a crime scene, a small memorial still stands front and center. This small community says they'll be glad when what's being called the biggest trial in Seneca County history is over.
It's just a quiet little town. So, no, I'll just be glad when it's over with. Don't need it.
We had 16 investigators assigned to the case. We had state police investigators working with it. I mean, we were working night and day.
Sheriff Tom Fox says he's confident his department arrested the right man. 15 months ago, Eric Parsons was charged with murder 2.5 weeks after his wife and 4 children burned to death inside their home.
We did it right, and I'm very proud that we did it right, and I think you're going to see in the end that we did do it right.
People like Lisa Gentili say the best end result will be when the constant reminder is gone.
People can't wait until that house is taken down because it just bothers everybody in town that it's still there.
Meanwhile, here at the courthouse, 6 women and 4 men have been selected to decide Parsons' fate. Attorneys need to agree on 2 more jurors and 2 alternates. That part is expected to wrap up by tomorrow afternoon, at which time opening statements into the capital murder trial will begin. Reporting from Seneca County, Stephanie Simo, the 10 o'clock news.
The man convicted of killing his pregnant girlfriend is headed to prison. Gerald Ponder was sentenced today to 25 years to life. Last month, he was found guilty of shooting Zanita Brown to death and then burying her body. Prosecutors say this video clinched the case. Before the murder, Ponder was caught on tape buying shovels at Kmart. His wife, Kia, is also charged in the case. Her trial date hasn't yet been set. A Rochester mother pled guilty today to starving her child to death. In 1998, a jury found Gloria Gross guilty of manslaughter after her 5-year-old daughter died of malnourishment. A judge threw that conviction out a few weeks ago, and today she pled guilty to second-degree manslaughter. Gross faces 3 to 9 years in prison.
Green space is at the center of debate in Geneseo, where voters are voting on a multi-million-dollar expansion proposal. But for a lot of people, it's all about saving a park. Reporter Tim Cassidy is here with details. Hey, Tim.
Hey there, Sherman. It's an expansion proposal which would mean changes to the town office building, fire department, plus moving police and court personnel to a new location. It's the location which has some voting no.
Voters in Geneseo aren't seeing eye to eye on a $1 million renovation project. At the center of debate, this DPW garage located next to Highland Park.
We have proposed that in the space vacated by moving the DPW out of a parcel adjacent to Highland Park, that we replace that with the police and court facility.
It's a plan which would help alleviate overcrowding at the town office building.
The working conditions are not very good for the people that are here. It's very crowded. The court is out there adjacent to the police.
But some casting their vote today say a new building at the park isn't the best plan.
The park is very nice the way it is, and I feel that the town has gotten along for a very long time with the buildings and the situation as it is, so I'd like to see us be able to continue just the way we've been.
While others believe it'll work.
I think that it's a good faith plan. I think it makes some sense to move the way they've suggested. They themselves have said it's not totally a done deal. Even within the budget, there's a possibility of still jimmying things a little bit. I think it's a good proposal. I voted for it.
The town supervisor thinks cops stationed at the park makes sense.
I think it was the feelings of both the town and village board in working together that we wanted to see that this concept of community policing, where the kids could, bump into the police officers in a place where they have fun and develop a healthy respect for the law.
The proposed plan has been in the works for years. Now, the supervisor and the mayor are left waiting for the results of the vote, hoping for a yes.
Yes, tonight is most definitely hoping for the best.
Now, there was a huge turnout at the polls today, and at this time, they're still counting those votes. We hope to have the results for you before the end of the 10 o'clock news. Christine?
All right, thanks, Tim. Smoke alarms may have saved the lives of some Rochester families today. A 4-family home on Lake Avenue went up in flames this afternoon. Everyone inside escaped after being alerted by the alarms. Firefighters quickly attacked the flames as they dealt with the cold and falling snow. They say while they have to exercise a little more caution in the snow, it doesn't really hamper their efforts, as long as neighbors help by digging out buried hydrants.
It can make a lot of difference in a pinch if we're looking at making a hydrant in a hurry. Being able to locate that and having it accessible makes a big difference. So we would ask people to help us out with that.
The weather presented a challenge for firefighters in Naples. They had to work through a 20-mile-per-hour wind yesterday as they knocked down a fire at a building at Rathburn Farms. It took 5 departments nearly an hour to control the flames. A malfunctioning furnace may be to blame.
A lot of people called on to fight fires and put criminals behind bars have been called up for possible war with Iraq. 60 members of the Rochester Police, Fire, and County Sheriff's Departments are reservists. 18 of them have already been called to duty. The city and county are still responsible for paying their salaries. Senator Chuck Schumer wants the federal government to step in and pick up the tab.
But the federal government ought to come in and make up that shortfall and give the fire department, give the police department the money that they've lost in terms of manpower, and let them decide how to use it.
If the 18 reservists who've been called up are gone for 1 year, it would cost almost $200,000 to pay their salaries.
The reservists are one piece of the plan for Iraq.
The clock is ticking. The U.S. tells Iraq time's up, and the UN must act now.
Plus, an experiment in hope for fighting AIDS, making some progress here.
Is Jerry ready for true love?
Are you looking deep down at the real person underneath?
No, I'm being as superficial as I possibly can.
Tonight at 11 on Fox Rochester.
Now with $500 bonus cash, get $3,500 total cash back on any 2003 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Visit your Rochester area Pontiac dealer today.
Hi, I'm Bill Nojay, volunteer chairman at your RTS. Recently, we've done everything from putting children's books on buses and expanding service for seniors to sharing a new vision for our downtown. Today, our focus is jobs, creating them with our new transit center, getting you to them for less money, and making it easier to find them. When it comes to growing our local economy, we see the big picture, and we'll be here to take you there.
I've been thinking about a new car. I ask myself, can I see myself in a BMW? Well, yes. Should I stop into John Holt's BMW? Why not? I've earned it. Dare I? Sure. In fact, I double dare you to join me.
The BMW 3 Series with all-wheel drive. It's all the permission you need. See the all-new 2003s at John Holt's BMW, 4250 West Henrietta Road.
The ultimate smart bomb.
Oh, back off.
Is about to get smarter.
I am programmed to destroy my target.
It's taken possession of the doctor, and unless someone can disarm it, it's going to be an explosive showdown.
Everyone on board will be killed.
Star Trek Voyager.
Tonight at midnight on Fox Rochester.
Now, live from Fox Rochester, the 10 o'clock news.
The pressure's on. The U.S. wants the UN to stick to a tough line on Iraq. A new resolution's on the table that the president says spells out Saddam's defiance. Bill Persichette reports.
This is the new resolution. It is brief, it is threatening, it's just one page, but it does bring the U.S. one step closer to war. The resolution is backed by the U.S., Britain, and Spain. It declares that Iraq is in material breach of prior resolutions and warns of serious consequences if Saddam Hussein does not disarm.
Saddam Hussein's refusal to comply with the demands of the civilized world is a threat to peace.
Most of the UN Security Council continues to oppose military action now. France, Germany, and Russia are circulating a counter-UN proposal setting a new timetable for Iraq to disarm.
We don't see anything in the present situation to justify a new resolution.
At the UN, Chief Weapons Inspector Hans Blix said Iraq must begin destroying its Al-Samud missiles by Saturday. The UN says the missiles violate a 93-mile range limit imposed after the 1991 Persian Gulf War.
We have set the date for the commencement of the destruction of these missiles, and we expect that to be respected.
And from the White House, another stern reminder that the clock is ticking on Iraq and its deadlines.
To those who say the inspectors need more time, need more time to do what? To get run around?
But tonight, after looking at the new resolution, some members of the Security Council still want inspections to continue for approximately 4 more months.
We don't think that the chance for peaceful disarmament of Iraq has been lost.
The White House says it wants action on the new resolution in short order. This sets the stage for a face-off vote in the UN Security Council sometime after March 7th. In Washington, Bill Persichette for the 10 o'clock news.
In the possible showdown with Iraq, a federal judge in Boston has thrown out a lawsuit filed against President Bush. It was filed by a handful of Democratic congressmen and argued that the resolution signed by Congress regarding Iraq in October didn't specifically declare war and unlawfully gave the decision to Bush. The court ruled that the judge does not have jurisdiction over the president. The president met with the nation's governors today. Many of them have been pressing for the administration for more aid to pay for rising costs of Medicare, education, and Homeland Security. The chairman of the National Governors Association, Democrat Paul Patton of Kentucky, says many states are having severe problems.
In Michigan, investigators are looking into a tanker explosion tonight. 4 trucks were engulfed in flames after fire struck at an oil company's transfer station. The fire was sparked this morning as tankers pumped fuel into smaller home delivery trucks. The fire and explosion destroyed a nearby maintenance building, but no one was injured.
As the investigation into the nightclub fire in Rhode Island continues, stories of heroism are rising from the ashes. Jorge Quiroga has the story of one man and how he escaped death.
Yeah, you can't really forget it. I don't know. I mean, I can't really get it out of my mind. I'd feel way too guilty trying to forget about it, but it's just something that's burned into my brain forever.
This is the horrible scene 22-year-old Robert Wraith cannot erase. The moment he and about 100 other patrons at the station nightclub became crushed, body to body, trapped at the front door, unable to escape the burning building.
I got stuck in that pileup and I just lunged forward. I didn't want to get down, because they always tell you in school, to stop, whatever, just get down below the smoke, but I knew if I got down I'd get trampled. So I just made a lunge for the door as I got one quick, fresh breath of air, and my torso was out the door, my legs were stuck inside in the crowd. I couldn't get out.
Amazingly enough, this video shows Robert in the pileup. He's the one on the right with the black t-shirt with a star. And what happened next can only be called a miracle.
One guy grabbed me and he pulled me a couple of times and I didn't move. Another guy came along, started pulling on me, and I guess I budged a little bit. So he kept on trying to get me out, and he was just screaming at me, "You can do it, come on, push, you can do it, come on, get out, get out."
In the pandemonium, Robert had the presence of mind to kick his shoes off.
Somehow, I don't know how I kicked my shoes off, and those extra couple inches, I slipped out, and I was just out. And as soon as I turned around to look at the building, that's when the flame came out the door. The people that just been on top of me just seconds before were on fire. I remember people jumping out the windows. I saw people in the parking lot on fire. People jumping into the snow. People, their skin it seemed like it was melting off them.
Robert says his only wish now is to find his guardian angel.
Yeah, I'd like to know who he was, at least so I can at least shake his hand, at the least. I mean, he saved my life.
And given that second chance at life, today Robert started a new job.
One of the co-owners of a nightclub spoke publicly today, saying he and his brother plan to cooperate with the investigation in any way and that they did not give Great White permission to use pyrotechnics. Band members insist they did.
Memorials are being held for the Mexican teen who died after 2 organ transplants. Her hometown of Lewisburg, North Carolina, is remembering 17-year-old Jessica Santillan. She died over the weekend after her second heart-lung transplant. During the first one, she was given organs of the wrong blood type. Jessica's battle may turn into a legal one now.
Duke has admitted that this was a tragic error, and that means it shouldn't have occurred.
An autopsy is planned so medical examiners can find out what ultimately caused Jessica's death.
Experimental trials on an AIDS vaccine study going on in Rochester and North America is showing some hope. The first results of the study on Vaxgen were released today. And although they did not reach the goal researchers at the U of R had hoped, it does indicate a vaccine can work. But in the study, it only worked on certain groups, mainly blacks and Hispanics. But overall, it failed to protect high-risk volunteers in general. Still, the director of the vaccine unit at the U of R says it's proof that studies are moving forward.
This means, although the result was negative, this means that we've got to push on, and I think we do have another clue as to what may ultimately end this epidemic.
And there are other AIDS vaccine studies going on here as well. In the last 15 years, 30 different vaccines have been tested in 40 different studies.
Getting your eyes zapped and throwing out the glasses, it's extremely popular right now.
Yes, it is. But is it right for you? We're going under the light for a closer view of laser eye surgery. That's in our second half now.
The 10 o'clock news brought to you by Macedon Ford.
When you're out looking for a vehicle, price naturally is critical, but I think there's more to that. It's the people that you're dealing with.
I don't think Macedon Ford is a typical dealer.
Not a lot of hype. It's a people-friendly dealership.
They're small, they're not slick, and I even know the mechanics by name.
I think it's more personal, almost like family. What is the sense of saving $100 on a vehicle if the next time you go back, the salesman you bought it from isn't there?
The next time you shop for groceries, look for Food Link's Checkout Hunger coupon at the register and feed a family of 4 for a day just by adding $1.47 to your food bill. It's simple. Just $1.47 a day feeds a family of 4. Imagine the impact. If you scanned the coupon last week and it felt good, do it again this week. Or scan it twice next time you shop. It means more than you know to feed families in need. Help as often as you can and check out hunger in our area, because hunger hurts.
Toyota Corporate Solutions.
We call it Toyota because we used them in the past for our computer systems, and we call them again this time for point-of-sale system.
The service at Toyota is great. Whenever I call them, they always get right back to me, and they're very knowledgeable people. I would recommend them to anybody.
Call Toyota and let us find the right solution for your computer needs.
Toyota Computers, 2452 West Henrietta Road and Toyota.com.
Introducing the redesigned 2003 Chevy Silverado. Durable and long-lasting, the same legendary reputation with a whole new look. Proving that the idea of what a full-size pickup should be has come full circle. And now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR or choose $2,000 cash back on the 2003 Chevy Silverado.
See your local Chevy dealer today. Now, from Fox Rochester, the exclusive 7-day Futurecast.
Welcome back to Fox Rochester, everyone. Well, we can chalk up another very chilly day here. 21 degrees for our high temperature. Overnight low was 10, and typically this time of year our high should reach 36 degrees, and that overnight low should be 19. So we're looking at a very chilly day. Tomorrow will be even worse. Temperature outside right now 16 degrees. That wind chill is at 14. Humidity is 88%. Winds are out of the northwest at 3, and the pressure is steady at 30.14 inches. Now again, we're still dealing with some areas of precipitation left over from that low pressure system. It's continuing to push towards the coast, but I'm still seeing some remnants of precip, and we have been throughout the entire day. Now we're going to start to see some northwest flow coming down as well over the warmer waters of Lake Ontario, and you all know what that means. That would be the lake effect machine starting to rev up this evening. 2 to 4 inches possible for us here in Monroe County and around the entire area for tonight. 2 to 4 inches being in some of the heavier and more persistent bands of snow, but we'll still see some of that remaining into the morning. We could pick up an additional 1 to 3 inches by tomorrow morning, but that system continues to push off the coast, and we'll see a high pressure take control for the next couple days, but some frigid temperatures associated with that high pressure system, folks. So although we'll be free of precipitation, you might wish the precip was back and the cold air was gone, because it's going to get very chilly, especially into tomorrow evening. Again, this low system pushes off to the coast, and a high pressure system starts to take control, but again, some very frigid temperatures associated with this system, folks. We are talking probably sub-zero wind chills into tomorrow evening. So we're getting ready for some chilly temperatures, and that'll start tonight. 10 degrees in Rochester, northern Livingston County, about 11 degrees. And as we head west towards Medina and Batavia, possibly 9 degrees there this evening. As we head into tomorrow, some chilly temperatures, but the real cold air gets here tomorrow evening. Now for Rochester, 18 for the high tomorrow. Down towards northern Livingston County, about 15 degrees. And as you head farther towards central New York, those temperatures will drop off. That's where we get that really chilly air. And again, you can see maybe 2 to 4 inches possible tonight in terms of snowfall, 10 for that overnight low, and the winds will be out of the northwest between 10 to 15 miles an hour. As we head into tomorrow, 18 degrees with snow showers still possible, and you could pick up an additional 1 to 3 inches for tomorrow. And we're getting winds out of the northwest. That's when that lake effect machine really starts to get revved up at between 10 to 20 miles an hour. So we're looking at some relatively gusty winds as well. Some of those persistent bands is where we'll pick up the heavier precipitation. As for tomorrow, a very chilly day, 18 for the high, 3 for the low. Looks like as that high pressure system takes control, we'll see some relatively clear days, but then the snow comes back to us. Back to you guys.
All right, Good News Rochester is coming up next.
Yeah, and more snow. All right, we'll be right back.
Where can you experience Casino Niagara? Always a rush.
I've been cutting back on cigarettes. Hasn't been easy. But I'm down to half what I used to smoke. And I'm ready to lose them for good. So I did something that's supposed to help. I just grabbed a pen, thank you, and picked a day. That's a good day. Now I've got something to shoot for, so I can kind of prepare for it in my head. I know it sounds simple. Simple things go a long way.
Announces the best values in America. Great products like the award-winning 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Great protection, a fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty, and great deals, a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months. Great products, great protection, great deals, all add up to the best values in America. Now, qualified lessees can lease a Grand Cherokee for just $339 a month.
Showing dedication to community service and making the grade in school is a good thing.
Yeah, and our good news tonight is a salute to some students who have done just that. They are the students nominated for this year's St. John Fisher Scholarship Awards. They were nominated through service area scholarships and first-generation scholarship programs at the college. A luncheon was held in their honor today as a congratulations for their community service, leadership, and academic achievement.
We are talking about teach me goodness, and, and discipline, and knowledge. Our students really have all of that. The service scholars, really have all of that.
Okay, they have all that. About 300 scholars were nominated this year. The program is in its 6th year at Fisher, and obviously, congratulations indeed to all the nominees, right?
And speaking of scholars,
joining
us here.
Well, very scholarly today, huh?
I feel scholarly today. New side of the desk.
Yes, great.
I feel better. I feel a huge sports.
Good thing you wore your long pants tonight, dude.
No shorts.
I always
I never.
I can touch you, buddy.
Only see this side of my face. Yeah, right. There is another side. Anyway.
The Sabres massaging their maybe another win tonight. Last night they took out Tampa Bay. This was earlier. This was not Mike Tyson, as he was in a fight earlier. As Mike Tyson taking out Clifford Etienne. That was on Saturday night. Of course, this was the weigh-in before the fight back in last summer against Lennox Lewis. And then, of course, this is the Amerks. Why don't we just move on to Leroy in Letchworth here, going at it here in the Class Triple C semifinals. In the first quarter, Brendan Fulmer had a game-high 32 points as Leroy would take out Letchworth. Then look at Fulmer again. The fadeaway jumper, they win it by the score of 63-48. They advance to the Class Triple C finals. Now, meanwhile, McQuaid doing battle tonight in the Class A semis. Tyler Ralph from McQuaid rated 2nd in the country. And they had an easy time here early on with the Rhonda Coit as Tyler Ralph drains the 3. Then it's Ralph one more time. Can you say route for the Knights? They win it by the score of 76-42 as they advance to the Class A finals, which we played Saturday night at the Big House.
Nice job as always, buddy.
Oh, yes.
Way to go.
You got it, partner.
Mm-hmm. All right, is there a scandal brewing for Tops? And can Wall Street pick up where it ended last week? Business News is next.
Is Jerry ready for true love?
Are you looking deep down at the real person underneath?
No, I'm being as superficial as I possibly can.
Tonight at 11 on Fox Rochester.
Let's see. President's Week. Washington, Lincoln, leadership, dependability. Uh-oh. Is that snow? Is it ever? So we better extend Toyota President's Week event and the Camry specials a few more days. That means a little more time to dig out and cash in on the $229 a month Camry lease. That'll save you a bundle. $229 a month, 39 months, just $19.70 at signing plus taxes and fees. I cannot tell a lie. It's the lowest Camry lease of the year. Get your snowshoes on and get moving, people. Honest, there's not much time.
The Red Cross RG&E Heating Fund offers emergency financial help to qualified households. To find out if you qualify, call your local Red Cross chapter.
Today, finding a job can be challenging. And the first step in getting to work is getting to an interview.
Thanks, Phil.
Good luck. I'm Bill Nojay. As volunteer chairman of RTS, we want to make sure we're doing all we can to make your life easier. That's why we've started Jobs First. If you have an interview for a new job, we'll send you a bus pass so you can get to the interview and back home again free. Because finding a job is hard enough. Getting there shouldn't be.
Do cable TV prices make you cry? Get DirecTV from the Dish Store. Enjoy better TV and more value for just $31.99 per month. Get a 2-room DirecTV system for free. Call the Dish Store, your source for satellite TV.
I'm always amazed when insurance companies create monumental financial struggles for someone who has been tragically injured.
At Cellino & Barnes, we are committed to fight for the victims and their families and to get the settlements they rightfully deserve.
Like the young woman who was so severely burned by an intoxicated truck driver.
Maybe it's the results achieved for our clients that has made us Western New York's largest personal injury firm.
Cellino & Barnes, 454-2020.
Things ended up on Wall Street last week, but that trend didn't continue into this week.
Stan Case looks at a wipeout on Wall Street in the business brief.
Lingering concerns about war dogged the stock markets Monday. Investors were also unnerved by a bleak outlook for retailers in the months ahead. The Dow tumbled about 160 points. The Nasdaq lost 26. The financial powerhouse that Lowe's built keeps getting stronger. The nation's second largest home improvement retailer says fourth quarter profits surged 46% from the same period a year ago. But Lowe's success apparently is the exception to the rule. Most major retailers, including Walmart, are posting lackluster sales this month, hurt by widespread rain and a blizzard in the Northeast. Dutch grocery giant Royal Ahold has revealed accounting irregularities in its U.S. operations that could amount to more than $500 million. The revelation has forced the company's chief executive and chief financial officer to resign. Ahold is the parent of U.S. grocers Stop & Shop, Giant Food, Tops, and Bilo. The sluggish economy and the threat of war in Iraq are making for a bleak employment outlook. The outplacement firm Manpower says fewer companies plan to hire employees in the second quarter compared to the first. Employers in the Northeast are the least likely to hire new workers, while those in the South are the most
All right, obviously having some tape problems there, excuse me. We do have an update on the story we've mentioned right off the top of the newscast tonight about the Geneseo expansion, a proposal to expand office space there. The vote tonight was defeated. 505 people voted against it, 354 voted for. That means it's back to the drawing board for the town and village staff before a new expanded proposal can be submitted.
A Rochester employee is getting national attention because of what he earns. Alan Kane is featured on the cover of Parade magazine. The 56-year-old accountant made the magazine's 20th annual What People Earn salary survey. Other New Yorkers who made the list include former President Bill Clinton, Martha Stewart, and State Attorney General Elliot Spitzer. And in case you're wondering, Alan made $150,000 last year. Bill Clinton made $25 million.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, we talked about some progress with an AIDS vaccine earlier. There's also hope for treating blood clots.
Plus, the laser eye surgery craze. A lot of people are doing it, but is it right for you?
Someone recently said that going to war without France is like going deer hunting without an accordion. A large international consensus on Iraq is desirable. However, the facts show that France and Germany are guided by their billions of dollars in trade with Saddam Hussein's bloodthirsty regime. From a military perspective, France offers nothing. Since Napoleon, its military record is one of defeat or surrender. In fact, the biggest French victory in the last 2 centuries was in 1985 when it blew up the Greenpeace organization's unarmed Rainbow Warrior protest ship as it was safely nestled in the Auckland, New Zealand harbor. Not exactly a hotbed of combat operations. And as far as going to war without Germany, imagine that. A major war without Germany. The first time in more than a century. That's the point. Go to newscentral.tv and tell us what you think. I'm Mark Hyman.
Buick, the official car of the PGA Tour, launches the season with an extra $500 golf bonus cash. Through February 28th, get an astounding $3,500 total cash back on the remarkable Buick Rendezvous. Or there's 0 APR for 5 years, and you still get $500 golf bonus on every new 2003 Buick. Golf bonus ends February 28th. Get into your Greater Rochester area Buick dealer.
Let me guess, stuffed French toast down at IHOP.
Yeah, right now at IHOP, it's stuffed French toast. Luscious cream cheese on the inside, creamy whipped topping, and your choice of fruit on the outside. Served with all your favorite stuff right alongside. Stuffed French toast at IHOP. Everybody's packing in just to get a taste. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
February is Black History Month, and Fox Rochester is celebrating our region and those who have shaped and continue to positively impact our community.
Today, we honor Frederick Douglass, who published the anti-slavery newspaper, the North Star, here in Rochester. Douglass escaped slavery in his youth and became one of the aggressive journalists in the abolitionist movement.
Fox Rochester is proud to honor our distinguished African-American community members. Sponsored by Xerox.
We knew we had to make the new Accord more comfortable and more stylish. Why else would you part with your old one? The all-new 2003 Accord from Honda. Now you can lease a 2003 Accord LX sedan for $239 a month for 36 months.
When you see news happening, dial pound 31 on your Verizon wireless phone. Join in. A service brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Now, live from Fox Rochester, the 10 o'clock news.
A low dose of blood thinner may reduce the risk of recurring blood clots. Some researchers in Boston say warfarin can reduce the risk of clots in the legs and lungs by 2/3. They say the treatment is so effective it should be offered immediately.
Although healthcare workers are being urged to get the smallpox shot, possible side effects are scaring many of them off. In Maryland today, about 24 workers rolled up their sleeves to get vaccinated. It's all part of the president's National Emergency Preparedness Plan. However, many public health employees are turning it down, concerned about side effects. The first month of the program is ending, and instead of 450,000 healthcare workers inoculated, the figure is 1% of that.
Okay, but the numbers are certainly different when it comes to laser eye surgery. A lot of people like me waking up without glasses or contacts.
The procedure has become big business, but is it right for you? Christy Feig walks us through the process.
In 1998, Linda Shope had eye laser surgery for the same reason millions of Americans do.
I just wanted to throw the glasses away.
But she had severe astigmatism, something that most doctors say should have ruled her out as a candidate. Now, instead of getting better, her eyesight is worse. In fact, she's legally blind in her left eye.
I cannot see small print. I cannot see any writing on the TVs. It hurts me to go out at night. I have to wear these dark glasses. During the day, I have to wear the glasses.
Finding the best doctor for the job takes research. Experts say looking for the best price is the wrong place to start.
They wouldn't try to get discount open heart surgery or budget brain surgery.
Those ads you hear for clinics could also contain red flags.
If you have an advertisement that boasts about thousands and thousands of procedures being performed, one should be cautious that this is a more commercialized outfit that is more interested in quantity than quality.
Instead, O'Brien says, look for a clinic with good preoperative screening. That should rule out people with severe nearsightedness or extreme astigmatism. Also check for thorough postoperative care to ensure they can handle problems that could arise after the procedure. In Washington, I'm Christy Feig.
You can find more helpful tips with our Fox On site, sponsored by Roadrunner. To get there, start with our website, foxrochester.com. Then click the on-site link to laser surgery.
Okay, so the truth is out. I wear glasses to read because my eyes are old. That's why they're here.
You look styling. You're
See
styling
you
with
far
that,
away.
partner.
It's all about the style.
All about the laser surgery.
You're all about style.
Yeah.
You know, all eyes, even
Yeah.
Shermie's eyes on McQuaid tonight as they look to advance to the Class A Section 5 finals. All the highlights coming up next from the Big House.
Good evening, everyone. In addition to lake effect snows possible for both tonight and tomorrow morning, some frigid temperatures are headed our way, below zero in towards central New York, but in the single digits here in the Rochester area. Here's what we're looking at for tomorrow. By 7 a.m., a temperature right around 10 degrees, 13 by noon, and 14 by 5 p.m. We'll tell you just what to expect with Night Flight after sports.
Last week on American Idol, the contestants gave their all, and Simon made his prediction.
The show next week will blow this group apart.
Fox Tuesday, see if Simon's promise comes true when the last group of contenders show what they've got.
So I need to talk to you.
And you get your last chance to choose which ones will go on in the final 10.
I think you're going to see some really good singing tonight.
Will they rise to the occasion? Will they fall apart?
You're going to find out.
American Idol.
Tuesday at 8 on Fox Rochester. Sponsored by Alfred State. Get to the GMC Power Drive at your GMC dealer and get 0% APR or $2,500 cash back on a new redesigned Sierra. Engineered to be the most powerful line of pickups in the world with up to 340 available horsepower. The power of GMC can be yours with the power of 0% APR or $2,500 cash back on a new redesigned 2003 GMC Sierra. Upgrade to professional grade during Power Drive. See the pros at your Rochester area GMC dealers.
The waiting is over. The International Auto Show is back jam-packed for 2003. A one-stop shopping extravaganza. Wednesday through Sunday. Rochester Riverside Convention Center. Oh, yeah. From minivans to a Lamborghini Diablo. From the Nissan Z to the Super Hummer. SUVs to CUVs. Luxuries. Pickups 2004 sneak preview. The Ford F-150. Cadillac XLR. Nissan Maxima. Great concepts from Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep. Meet celebrities. Visit Motorsports Alley for Racers. The Auto Show.
Are you the next American?
Even if you're not, you could be going to Hollywood. Just test drive any new Ford at your local Ford store and enter to win a trip for two to a live taping of American Idol in Los Angeles. And right now, you can get 0% 48-month financing plus, that's right, plus $500 cash back on a new fun-to-drive Ford Focus. So hurry into your local Ford store to test drive, enter, and win.
Now, Sports Extra, live with John DeTulio.
What's up, and welcome. We start with high school hoops, a triple header being staged at the Big House. Highlighted with McQuaid, 21-0 on the season, ranked second in the country, facing upset-minded Irondequoit in the Class A sectional semis. We go to the BCA at the War Memorial. The best player in New York, that would be Tyler Ralph, came out focused, but unheralded Justin McGee. 3-ball from the right side, Knights led by 6. And watch Tyler Ralph come off the screen. He's going to get the rock in the corner. That's a pretty jumper. All net, 11-2 Knights. Irondequoit trying to keep it close. This is Josh Santiago from 3 land, but too much size. McQuaid's got the trees inside. That would be Marty O'Sullivan getting the loose ball, using window, draws the foul, and the bucket. The lead is 10. Eagles trying to keep it close once more. MJ Mark Johnson using window. But then again, it's Tyler Ralph, the senior, gets the pass from Marty O'Sullivan. 3-ball, this one is deep. 34-20 at the half. McQuaid rolls, winning 76-42. Now, Class Triple C, Leroy, the top seed, taking on Letchworth, and off the Rod Owens miss. I tell you, Brendan Fulmer had a great football season. He continuing it on the hardwood. Put back using the left hand. The Awatkin Knights lead by 4. Letchworth, though, they've got a player named Tony Fioretto here for 3. The Indians down just 3. Fioretto finished with 13, but Sam DeFazio with the 3 ball. And Leroy extends their lead by 6, and then it's Fulmer once more. Nice turnaround jumper. The fall away, 63-48. Fulmer finishes with 32. Who will they meet? Wellsville or Williamson? That being decided tonight. Jim Inslee and Wellsville here, but early in the third quarter, it's Williamson on top, and Jesse Denny put the Marauders up 33-29. Ooh, but the Lions come roaring back. Rick Whitwood, yes, the 3-pointer. They got a 1-point lead, but then it's Whitwood again. Wellsville pulls away in the fourth quarter, beating Williamson, coming up big, 74-58. Kevin Sweet finished with 17. Girls High School, this is the girls semis class double C. There you see Cuba Rushford by 5 over Cal Mum. In overtime, top-seeded Warsaw rolls by 8 points. Elsewhere in the Class C, the Lady Falcons from S Squared, they knock off York, and the Lions, they roar over Clyde Savannah, winning 50-31. Class double D, Batavia Notre Dame keeping that winning tradition alive with a 17-point win, and Elba, the top seed, over Romulus, 43-31. Now, from the hardwood to the ice, hockey night in South Florida. The Panthers hosting the Sabres, who enter the game winning 2 of their last 3. Max Afinogenov, who missed the first 46 games this season with a post-concussion syndrome, scoring his first goal of the year in Sunday's 4-1 win at Tampa Bay. We go down south. Former Amherst coach. Here you see Mike Keenan looking on, and look who would light the lamp early. Max Afinogenov, some great moves, beating Robert Luongo for a 1-0 lead. 6:12 left in the first, and Olli Jokinen, one of the hottest scorers in all the NHL, takes the dish, his 32nd of the year. He would beat Marty Baron, game tied at 1. 1-1 in the third on the power play. Here come the Sabres. Dmitry Kalina to Tim Conley, but Miro Shatan with the stuff, his 22nd, 2-1 Sabres. But the Sabres unable to hold it. They lose the face-off in the end, and then Yaroslav Bednash here would tie the game at 2. Sloppy play by the Sabres cost them an extra point. They finish up in a 2-all tie. Elsewhere, Jaromir Jagr is 33rd. Peter Bondra is 23rd. Capitals capping Montreal, and Detroit 5-4 winners over Los Angeles. Steve Yzerman back on the ice for the first time this year. Brett Hall gets his 24th goal of the year. Meanwhile, the Amerks are 2-0 since goalie Ryan Miller was shipped from Buffalo to Rochester, while Mika Norton was recalled to Buffalo to back up Marty Baron. Miller will spend the rest of the season in Rochester so he can play full-time.
In a way, I also want to prove that I'm not going to pout. This is not a situation where I'm going to come down and be like, oh, you sent me down, I'm just going to cry about it. I'm going to show that I'm a true competitor, and I'm going to come down and play my game.
He came down here, he put his ego aside, his frustration aside, and really focused on winning games down here. And he's vocal in the locker room, he's vocal on the ice, and he just gives us so much confidence back there.
Football news, the Buffalo Bills today tendering a contract offer to fullback/special teams player number 41, Philip Crosby, who played in all 16 games last season. Stay tuned. We're talking college and NBA hoops and more when Sports Extra rolls on. Stay put.
During Clover's Best Buy sale, you'll get huge savings, make no payments, and pay no interest on financing for 12 full months. Choose from 10 luxury spas, priced as low as $15.88, but no more than $39.99. 5 big spas are priced under $29.99. A complete pool package is only $8.88, including pool, liner, filter, and ladder. Plus installation on any size pool, only $99. Smart shoppers will get their best buys on pool tables from $8.99, bars from $3.88, bar stools from $19. Huge savings on foosball and air hockey, only at Clover.
Construction work up here is dangerous. It's getting up and down where most people get hurt. You could fall from a ladder, a scaffold, or get hit by a falling object. If you get hurt up here, we'll use a special law to get you more money than workers' compensation. It's extra money your boss may not tell you about. Job injury? Get all the money you deserve. Come on down, Jim. I'll wait for the ladder. Hurt up there? Call 1-800-LAW-1333. The heavy hitters.
Life's a little slower out here, but not at breakfast time.
The bus is going to be here in 10 minutes.
Did you do your homework? Now there's Bob Evans Express.
Where's the other shoe?
That fresh Bob Evans taste, ready in 60 seconds.
You guys, here's the sausage.
My kids love it. With this new Bob Evans Express, we can enjoy a hot breakfast.
We gotta go.
Even on busy days.
Bob Evans down on the farm.
Jeep announces the best values in America. Great products like the 2003 Jeep Liberty. Great protection, a fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. And great deals, a $1,000 cash allowance or 0% financing. Great products, great protection, great deals. All add up to the best values in America. Now, qualified lessees can lease a Liberty for just $279 a month. February is Black History Month, and Fox Rochester is celebrating our region and those who have shaped and continue to positively impact our community.
Today, we honor Dr. Charles Lunsford, who opened a private practice on Clarissa Street in 1921, becoming the first black doctor in the city. In 1958, Lunsford was cited for his work against discrimination in jobs and housing.
Fox Rochester is proud to honor our distinguished African American community members. Sponsored by Unity Health System.
Welcome back. College basketball. Syracuse 19-4 after their big win Sunday at Michigan State. Rated 15th this week in the latest AP poll, up from 17th. They host West Virginia. The Mountaineers and John Beilein come calling on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, Big East action tonight. Notre Dame, after trailing by 17, they're just down 3 after the Ryan Miller 3. But down the stretch, you know the man takes over. Mika Okafor for 2. Huskies win 87-78. Jim Calhoun back on the bench. Meanwhile, look at Yao Ming. Some serious low post moves, and the Rockets led at that point. Back comes P squared and Paul Pierce. Look at him. Where's Yao? Get out of the way. Pierce would finish with 22, but in the end, Steve Francis 33. The Rockets come back winning overtime, 101-95. Elsewhere, Wesley Person 27. Memphis upsets the Jazz 103-92. In Minnesota, they're red hot. Kevin Garnett 34. Minnesota wins 117-112. And finally, Pete Rose was denied entry to the Canadian Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame, failing to receive 75% of the vote. Rose did play part of the 1984 season with the Montreal Expos. Joe Carter and Kirk McCaskill receiving acceptance to the Hall. And they got the same gripe Major League Baseball has here in the States.
I was going to say, just not going to happen. Give it up, man.
Get that little written confession, and you'll find yourself in the Hall.
Oh, boy. We'll see.
Thank you.
Doing fine, man. Thanks for
Right.
The snow and cold keeps coming.
But there may be better news in the FutureCast. We'll be right back.
Positive energy, big opportunity, whatever you call it, it's surrounding every Chevy car. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on every 2003 Chevy car except Corvette. Or choose $3,000 cash back. What goes around comes around, so make your next move. Get 0% APR for 60 months at your local Chevy dealer today.
Got a letter from Jimmy.
This ought to be good. He says, I made it all the way to Monterey, California. Tell Art it was left at the dry cleaners. It's wild out here. Even the food is cool. They take a whole chicken breast and top it with Monterey Jack and ranch dressing with bacon.
You guys never had anything like it. They call it a
Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
He has that big, delicious sandwich you love is back.
Maybe one day you'll have it in Dublin, Ohio. Ha ha.
That kid was always a day late and $1 short.
Wendy's, it's better here. And our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
When you quit smoking, you reduce the chances your children will get asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, and other respiratory disease. And we all know how wonderful it is to have a strong, healthy baby.
For your free smoke-free home and car kit, call 1-800-LUNG-USA.
Today, finding a job can be challenging. And the first step in getting to work is getting to an interview. Thanks, Phil. Good luck. I'm Bill Nojay. As volunteer chairman of RTS, we want to make sure we're doing all we can to make your life easier. That's why we've started Jobs First. If you have an interview for a new job, we'll send you a bus pass so you can get to the interview and back home again free. Because finding a job is hard enough. Getting there shouldn't be.
Well, more snow and more cold on the way. Actually, even colder.
Yeah, here we go again. Yeah. When will it end?
Not anytime soon, it doesn't look like anyway.
Well, hopefully with the answer. Here's meteorologist Megan Glaros.
Good evening, everyone. Get ready for another chilly night here in the Rochester area. 16 degrees outside right now. That wind chill's at 14. Humidity is 88%. Winds out of the northwest at 3, and the pressure is holding steady at 30.14 inches. Now it's time to take our night flight of the evening, starting in the Dallas, Texas area. Those folks have seen it all. Rain, sleet, snow, and over towards the Oklahoma-Kansas border. Those folks picked up a foot of snow this weekend and some blizzard-like conditions as well. Now things seem to be calming down around the Windy City. Those folks looking relatively clear this evening, but if you peek off in the distance past Lake Michigan, some snowfall in the Michigan area and even heading down into portions of northeast Indiana and even into Ohio. Just seeing some flurries this evening. Those folks dealt with a system that was relatively strong, dumped about 6 inches of snow on the Dayton area this weekend. And as for Ohio, Cleveland seeing some snow this evening as well, heading towards Lake Ontario. We all know that the Rochester area has picked up our fair share this season as well. Satellite and radar composites showing some pretty decent snowfall throughout the day. We're going to see some lake effect action starting this evening. Could pick up 2 to 4 inches in the Rochester area tonight and an additional 1 to 3 as you move into the day tomorrow. So we are looking at some pretty significant snowfall due to that flow out of the northwest coming right over Lake Ontario. That's going to get that lake effect machine started, and also dealing still with some remnants of precipitation from that last low pressure system. And another system getting ready to head our way as well. So we'll keep an eye on that, let you know what to expect from that system. But as for this past snowmaker, it's heading off towards the coast. We are going to see a high pressure system take control, but that's really going to cool things off for us here in the Rochester area, especially into Tuesday evening, folks. That's tomorrow night. Some very chilly temperatures. 10 for tonight in Rochester and 11 down towards northern Livingston County as we head into tomorrow. Not a big warm up, only 18 degrees in Rochester and 18 over towards Medina and Batavia as well. For tonight, expect a temperature right around 10 with 2 to 4 inches of snowfall possible. As we head into tomorrow, 18 degrees and an additional 1 to 3 inches from that lake effect snow machine. It will be busy at work tonight and tomorrow. And as we head throughout the week, things look relatively dry and pretty sunny. And Wednesday and Thursday, that's when that high pressure system takes control. But then we start to see that next system making an approach to the area and some possible snowfall for us. Also, some slightly warmer temperatures as you move into the end of the week. Christine, Sherman, back to you guys.
All right, now here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow's 10 o'clock news. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children will unveil a new law enforcement training center in Rochester. We'll tell you about it. Plus, parents have another chance to ask questions about a proposal to redesign schools in the city school district. We'll be there. Join us for that and more tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow night for the 10 o'clock news. Good night.
Good night.